Hello everyone, this is Triple Valve Metro Camel. Welcome to the video today. I am super excited because you're watching this video, and super excited because I've got a brand new loco for the layout to show you. It's been a good while since I got a loco for the layout, and I'm very excited because I've got a new loco and because I'm going to share it with you today, so you know, bonus. Anyway, I want to show you this loco because it's very unique in the fact that it's originally manufactured as a DCC chipped and sound chipped locomotive, and it's been out for a good while, but obviously for that particular reason it wasn't available to me operationally wise for the layout because my layout is analog. So it was available originally as a DCC and sound chipped fitted loco, but recently on good old eBay I recently purchased this loco after a bid and eventually won it on eBay for a really good price. So I was happy with the price and more than happy, shall we say, when I received it in the post. And I'll show you exactly the loco I'm on about. It is a Hornby Railroad Range Class 40 Empress of Canada. Look at that, guys. And the seller said she is like new, and as you can see the box is in absolutely immaculate condition, spick and span, in really good tip-top condition. As you can see, so she was well looked after and probably never ever run. And as you can see, it's got the DCC fitted and sound chip bit crossed out on there because it's been removed. So I can only surmise that the chap that sold this to me on eBay possibly had this in his shop or something, as a model railway shop, something like that, and this custom converted it back to DC and sold it as is, as you can see on eBay. So anyway, I'm going to take this out of the box and show you this beautiful loco, and I hope that you will enjoy it as much as I will reviewing it. So grab yourself a cup of tea or whatever, and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, well here she is outside the box, and as you can see she is really nice. First thing I noticed about this loco was actually how long it is. It's quite a long loco, being a Class 40, and even though it's a Hornby Railroad range model, it captures everything about the Class 40 pretty much that you would expect. So let's look at the paintwork. So I'll bring it closer to the camera and we can have a little look at this paintwork. So as you can see, the paintwork is absolutely 100% crisp on there, and they've got everything right in terms of the right colour paint for the loco itself. These transfers, even though they're printed on there as part of the paintwork, they're nice and crisp, and they've got everything on there right, as I said, paintwork wise. I mean, Hornby, you wouldn't expect anything different, so the paintwork is definitely great. The Empress of Canada nameplate on there, if you can see that. I hope the camera doesn't blur too much. That unfortunately is printed on there, but I'm pretty sure somewhere out there you can get a brass etched nameplate possibly to go over that. If you wanted to, I suppose you could do that. One of the nice things about this loco is that we've got this detail here, these frost panels, which is quite nice. They're nicely embossed out, which is quite nice. Did a little bit of a custom paint job, by the way. That's me painting that area in, because this was green originally, so I tended to give it a little bit of a custom job paint wise, but the rest of the loco is in mint condition, as you can see. Moving on to the front, if you look at the glazing for this loco, it's pretty much acceptable. I don't think you're going to get it any better than that. There's some people out there that have nitpicked the glazing on these locos and said that it's not quite right, but I think it looks quite nice. And you've even got some little windscreen wipers there on either side, on the driver's side and on the off side, which is quite nice. The front bonnet, you've got the inspection hatches on there, which has got some nice little hinge detail there, as you can see. Moving on to the front isn't all that impressive. Everything is pretty much factory manufactured and moulded on there. They're moulded details, but I have got a jumper cable which I'm going to fit here and super glue here probably, and some vacuum pipes I could easily put on there, I suppose. One of the nice touches about this model, it's got NEM couplings which is really nice on the front there. And just looking at the front of this loco, oops, this particular colour red for the buffer beams there isn't the original colour. They were a little bit lighter than the manufacturer colour, so all I did, I've repainted the buffer beam area here in a bit of a darker shade of red, which I think looks much better. You've got the yellow warning panel, half of it on the front end here, as you can see, and most of the detail on the front there, in fact all of it, is all moulded, so there's nothing really special there. But again, you could add some little things on there. I mean, what I could do on this version if I wanted to is put some head code discs on the front here if I really wanted to, and as mentioned, add some detail to the front buffer beam there, such as couplings, vacuum pipes and jumper cables, if I wanted to. But I'm quite happy at the time to leave it this way. So looking at the other end of the loco, swing it around, is exactly the same as the other end we just looked at. As you can see, identical on both ends. And that's pretty much it. One of the odd things about these locos is that they have these articulated bogies that move from the front of the body, which is a bit weird, because when you think about a Class 47 or anything like that, the Class 40 loco, as far as I'm aware, is the only British made diesel locomotive on the main line that had these bogies that overswung the nose ends like that, which is a little bit odd. But there we go. But these are really nice locos, not only in model form but the full-size machines. Very successful and very nice. If I flip her over on her side and we have a little look at the roof's got some nice detail on it. The excuse me, the fan here, even though it's moulded, it looks like there's some three-dimensional detail in there, which gives the impression of the fan sitting in there. It looks a little bit dirty as well, so that looks quite pleasing. And you've got these inspection hatches on the roof here that have got some nice detail there. And also, looking at what we've got here as a loco, she is really nice. So overall, I'd give this loco definitely 10 out of 10. Certainly for appearance wise and for paintwork wise. Performance wise, as you'll see from the video I'll do shortly afterwards for running on the layout, she really is nice and smooth. And from the other railroad range models I've got in my collection, that's pretty substandard, because they really are, performance wise, very, very good. I mean, you've got a cheap budget model like this with a top end motor inside it, which I think really ticks the boxes in my opinion, because we're looking for performance. I mean, the appearance is definitely what matters on a loco, but if you've got a loco that's super detailed, looks really, really good, but absolutely is rubbish on the track and doesn't perform very well, and it's pretty much naff, then you haven't really sort of achieved the target at the end of that, as it were. So if you've got a loco that performs really well and looks the part, then that's brilliant. But with these locos, they are budget, so you're not going to get much detail in terms of little bits and pieces. But she does tick the boxes in appearance and also performance wise. If I take this loco and flip it over on the underside, you can have a look at the underside detail. There isn't much to see apart from the fact these bogies have an additional free moving front pony wheel at the front there, which is typical of the Class 40s, and you'll find that on every Class 40 model. And as you can see there, it's separately fitted there. There isn't much to look at underneath. Bogies are all moulded as details. As you can see, these sand pipes here are all moulded on there. They're not separately fitted. But when she's on the track running round, you wouldn't even notice that. And she does look really, really good. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is stop the video, and I'm going to take this body off. The actual body shell I'm going to remove, so you can see inside what's inside in terms of if you want to fit your DCC chip, or even take it away and put a DC blanking plate. I can show you that as well. So just stay tuned and I'll be back in a mo. Hi everyone, welcome back to the second part of the video, and I hope that you find the following things very useful and handy. Okay, so we've got the body shell off this loco, and as you can see, you've got the electrical and mechanical works of the loco inside, which is what we're going to be talking about right now. So one of the reasons why I'm doing this segment is because when I actually put the loco on the track and gave it a run for the first time, I found two things. Number one, it was extremely light to pick up and handle. I mean, I'm not kidding you guys, this loco was light as a feather. I mean, it really was ridiculously, stupidly light. And that bothered me a little bit, because if I pick up a loco and it's the same weight as a Mark 1 carriage, then to me there's a problem. It's going to create problems running. And I soon found that out, believe it or not. I put it on the track, applied some power to it, and the first time she went around a few of my curves and across some point works and some crossovers, she fell on the deck, which I was not very happy about. So I ran it in the opposite direction and the same thing happened. And I was finding that basically, as the loco was going around the layout, she wasn't too happy about crossing point work and curves. She was falling off the floor all the time. So basically I took the loco off, checked lubrication, I checked obstructions in the point work on the track, I checked wheel clearance diameters, that sort of thing. Really went into it, and nothing was seeming to come up, the solution why it was doing this. So I sat there and I picked her up again, and I thought, well, this is not right, it being too light. So I took off the body shell, and to my surprise and horror, there was no form of weights inside the loco. Now on the old Hornby locos, you had a square cast block inside normally the fuel tanks, the moulded section of the locos, right in the middle. So that gives it a nice bit of weight. And certainly on the Bachmann locos or the Helgen stuff, they're really, really heavy, which is great for haulage and traction. So what I decided to do, as you can see here, I'll bring the camera in so you can see what I've done. And where the old speaker used to sit, in this space here, what I've done, guys, if you can see this at home, I've added some internal weights, and it consists of, you see a bit of blue tack there, that's holding 4 small lead weights, and then underneath that is an old class 47 square cast weight block from an old Hornby class 47 I had, and that block there plus those 4 on top make it very heavy centrally. And then on the outside of the loco, on the 2 outer ends, I've done the same thing, just put some more cast blocks on either end, which, because there's no cab detail, you've got space to do this, and there's quite an ample scope there also to put a moulded cab section in with some detail there. There's loads of room to do that, but more importantly, I've put some weights on both ends, as you can see there. So now she's quite heavy, which is exactly what I wanted. And hey presto, when I run around the layout, she hugged the track like a dream, and she performed at all speeds in both directions. And you'll see from the finished video after this segment of her running on the layout with a few trains making up her detailed roster. Anyway, moving on to the loco itself inside. So if you get one of these, obviously it's DCC and sound chipped. Normally you'd have the speaker in this area, which you can see, and your DCC chip there. And what the chap who sold me on eBay this loco has done is simply put a blanking plate, which is just to the right of the camera shot, which is one of these. And all you do is just, if you can buy these separately on eBay or your model shop, you can put these in the DCC chip area, plug it into there quite simply. This plate here that holds the speaker, if you want to do what I've done and you put your square weight in there, these 2 screws are very loosely held in, so you can actually undo these 2 screws, take this speaker assembly plate off, drop the weight inside, either glue it with super glue. I've left mine sitting there with no glue because it holds in there quite nicely, and then just put some more weights on there like I've done and put the whole thing back together, and hey presto, she's good. So that's one of the things that I've done. I've just added a very, very small amount of oil also on this area here, not too much, just a little bit, because that's a free moving area. So a little bit of oil on that end and also on the other end as well, because that nut, as you can see, that clip is, I know it's plastic to plastic, but it's a moving area, so a little tiny little bit of oil on there helps keep it nice and free moving. And basically that is it in terms of mechanism wise. I'm pretty sure that the design of the loco itself is probably an old Lima tooling model, but with the upgrade of the chassis. I mean, it doesn't look much, but this motor that's inside here is really good in terms of performance, and again you'll see that on the finished video. So that's pretty much it, and I just want to compare something else with this model. So again, I'll just pause this and I'll see you in a mo. Okay, comparison time. This is an old Bachmann Class 40, which recently I sprayed with some high gloss finish to give it a really shiny, glossy paintwork, straight out the workshop finish. As you can see, I've done that the other day, which makes it really shiny. I'm just comparing these two 40s together. So there we go. That's my pair of 40s for the layout. And there's quite a few differences. Obviously the Bachmann model is the superior model in terms of detail, and separately fitted items on there. But I mean, the other Class 40 on the left, which we just talked about, doesn't look all that out of place with this particular model. So yep, there we go. So although that this particular model I've got, the BR Blue version, doesn't go on the layout because it's out of place time wise, but I just at the time liked it because of the appearance of it, and I didn't have one, so that's why I got it. But there we go. So now I've got two 40s in the layout, and I'm sure that we'll have years of enjoyment running them. So there we go. So hope you enjoyed the little extra segment there, and I'll do a running session of the green one on the left hand side for you to watch after this video. Take care, see you soon, enjoy the video, bye. Okay YouTubers, as promised I'm going to do a running session now with this Class 40. First of all you'll see light engine, and then I'm going to reverse onto a regular coaches I've got on the down line right next to it, and then you'll see it running with an Express. So what I'll do, I'll demonstrate simply the amazing slow speed this loco is capable of. I'm using analog on the layout, and I'm using a Gauge Master twin track inertia controller, and if you've got one of these or seen one of these, it's on notch 30, which is quite a low speed. I'm using the simulator and brake as well. So what I'll do, I'll release the brakes, and then realistically the loco should creep forward. So fingers crossed, here goes. As you can see, that is absolutely at a crawling pace. Probably a scale speed of about between 2 to 5 miles an hour. So as you can see, you get really realistic slow speed out of it. And that's the sort of bottom scale of the output of my controller, basically. This must be the slowest train in history on the layout. But I'm just proving a point for you guys out there that how smooth and how amazingly responsive the motor is inside this train. Right, I'm just going to stop her there a minute. Right, what I'll do, while the camera's still rolling, I'll notch it up to a reasonable rate of knots, scale speed of about say 60, and you'll see what happens. Alright, let's take the brakes off and let her go for it. Right, I think what I'll do, I'll stop this video and then I'll get her to go and pick up those coaches. So, see you in a mo.